traders and investors alike were green yesterday. Another awesome day in the stock market. Please keep in mind, discipline is the key to your success in trading. So Thursday at close, the put to call ratio shot up to 150. It's as hot as it's been all year. And this is the put to call that tracks the whole market. The put to call for just the equities was just as hot, just a crazy move. We did cool off yesterday a little bit. We come down to 127, still very, very bearish. We had a really nice move yesterday in the markets to the downside. Then we got a strong reversal. Very nice day. A really easy money day as long as you wasn't coming in trying to constantly buy calls when we had a downtrending market. Remember, the market is your friend. So the oscillators for the NASDAQ, we are negative 133, a little warm down here. New York Stock Exchange, negative 137. So we are warm, but we still have plenty of room to move in either direction. Weekly SPX, we still have today for this candle to close, but you can see looks like we're moving down. This is our breadth chart. Breadth is negative. Yesterday we were in a trend down day until we started to cool off. We remained in a trend down day on our breadth measurements all day, but we were able to catch that reversal and see some strength in the reversal. So we had a really nice move back up towards the end of the day. The dollar still remains under the 9, still struggling, and that's exactly what we want to see. The VIX had a nice spike yesterday, and you can see it here on the 15-minute intraday chart. Nice spike and then a reversal. So as the market was pulling back, the VIX was pushing up like it's supposed to. When the market reversed, the VIX pulled back. Crude, we did break out of this descending broadening wedge. The 9 is up here. See how we act. You can see we had a down day yesterday. See how we act. The 9's coming up. We could definitely see a move up there. If we do, let's keep an eye on the energy names. So you can see we were seeing heavy money coming out. You can see the reversal here. It's starting to push back up. The CFM starting to push back up a little bit, which means possibly seeing some money come back in. At the end of the day yesterday, we did have a $2.2 billion MOC as well. So that's a good sign, right at the end of the day. Apple, you can see Apple had a down day yesterday. Here's Apple intraday chart, big move down, seen some reversal at the end of the day. A lot of these intraday charts are going to look the exact same. You can see gold here trading in this little channel, a breakout of there, one way or the other, going for calls or puts. So this is our advanced decline lines. You can see we did try to push back up the previous day. We had a strong move on Wednesday to the upside. And yesterday, you can see we're turning right down, just happens to be right at the 9. Abbey's back above the 9 and 20 here. MACD's possibly changing character here. Let's keep an eye on this one. We could see a move up. AMD, big down candle yesterday, but you can see in the candle it had a decent reversal. AMD weekly, we were expecting a move down here. That weekly chart's just bearish looking. Affirm down. Affirm hit all new lows yesterday. All time, new all-time lows. And you can see Affirm here had a nice reversal as well. Didn't have a huge pullback. I mean, it did pull back, but some stocks definitely pulled back harder than this. Something going on there, pre-market, after hours. Amazon, really big snatch, and then a very nice reversal here. And you can see it when it took that 9 back, letting the 9 swoop up, and that's when it started to gather some strength, pushing up. Amazon, still watching this bear pennant, still moving down. So we're not surprised seeing Amazon getting destroyed here, because we have been seeing, we've been following the weekly chart. The weekly chart was telling us that Amazon's going to have a bearish move with the bearish pennant. You can see AMC here had some news come out yesterday morning, gap down, and then they did, but they bought it back. You can see AMC here with that big gap down in pre-market coming out with the news and then pushing back up. Just stuff that's going on there is just sad. Some of the stuff that this company's getting away with is really, really sad. So you can see AMD here, big move down, tried to recover more downside, and then a nice push up at the end of the day. A lot of these charts are exactly the same. Amazon, there's Apple. So Apple's breaking out of our descending triangle to the downside on the weekly chart. ARK is pulling back. So we got Boeing. Boeing had a really nice move Tuesday, give it back. Still holding this 9 here on the daily, so let's watch it. Look how nice this flag was. Pull right back by the 9 situation, pushing right back up. BABA getting back above your 9 and 20 there, back above that level of resistance. Bitcoin struggling back under the 9, back under the 20, looking for more downside move there, unfortunately. Boeing intraday chart, big move down here, and the recovery yesterday at the end of the day was not as strong with Boeing. We can see Boeing pulled back, found support at the 9. We could see that on the daily chart, was able to recover some of it. Cat, we got a nice breakout here Wednesday. It has pulled back to retest the 9, tried, and you can see we recovered yesterday off that 9. So it was nice to see it breaking out of this channel. Cat put in an all new high and then snatch back into it. Kind of see where we're at today at the end of today. Chewy, we were watching this line for short side, so we have gone below this line, below the 50 as well, so we can look here for a move down to the 200. Chewy intraday, big pullback, then pull back again with a strong recovery at the end of the day. So I know a lot of people were running in trying to buy calls yesterday, but if you followed your technicals, it told you when to go in and buy calls. So, yesterday we talked through this several times, explaining how the market was not ready to reverse yet, to stay with the trend. The trend is your friend. It was easy money as long as you were not trying to fight the trend yesterday. When we had a reversal, that was time to buy calls, and then it was easy money back up to the upside. No need to fight the trends, guys. A crowd, just double top here, breaking out. CVX trying to push back up. Energy's trying to show some life with crude trying to push. I think it's going to depend on what crude does right now. We still remain below the 50 and 20, above the 9. So right now that's in a no trade zone for me. Got to have room to make money, and I don't like being wedged. Now CVX gave a reversal signal down here. A nice little long-legged doji down here, and big rip back up to the upside. A nice move. So still watching this inverted head and shoulders, or head and shoulders topping pattern here. Still below the 9 on DVN. DraftKings just down. Tried to bear flag up. Didn't even have enough strength to get back to the 9. Just showing a lot of weakness there. That's been an easy money trend pulling back. Dollar General. So this has been fairly choppy. You can see we got to bounce off this 200, trying to climb its way back up, back over the 9. It's been a very, very choppy chart, very hard to trade. DVN here, still holding this 50. So this is what you can, if you looked on a daily chart, you can see DVN, something's keeping it from going down. It's the 50 on the weekly. So we need to clear that 50 on the weekly. We can see more downside. EA broke out of this double top here coming down. We are bear flagging now. See how we act today. Bear flagging up towards the 9. We could see further downside. MACD is trying to change character there. So Lilly here. Lilly is back above the 9 and 20. Yesterday had a down day. Looks like it closed right back on the 9 itself. Need to be careful with that one until it moves up above those moving averages. Then we could look for a move up. XLE, yesterday was kind of ugly for it. You can see it did have some recovery, just a big down day there. Did have some recovery at the end of the day, and we could see that in the CVX chart. ExxonMobil, nice reversal, big move down, flagged right back into your 15-minute 9 with another big move down. Give some nice entries there. Did a nice reversal to the upside. Ford pulling back here as well. You can see Ford on the intraday chart. It has, right as of now, it has broken out of this symmetrical triangle. Now, unfortunately, we need this to confirm. It's a weekly chart. This candle will close today. We do have the 200 down here, but we could definitely be seeing more downside out of Ford breaking out of that pattern like that. Uh, FedEx. FedEx didn't have the best earnings. If you looked into it, you could tell there's a lot more cost cutting trying to so there was a lot of cost cutting and things trying to cut expenses and stuff like that. This wasn't the best earnings. Did have a decent day yesterday. Closed with a strong candle back above the 9 and 20, so that's worth keeping an eye on. We still have a lot of gap up there if it does want to go for it. You can see First Solar. First Solar it tried to get back above the 9 and 20, was rejected again yesterday. Google down. So we can see Home Depot. This is the hour chart on Home Depot. Let's go look at the daily chart. You can see we've lost the support level. Down here struggling with this. The 9 and 20 are starting to roll over. One thing about Home Depot is we still have this flag here on the weekly. So we're still testing the weekly 9. There is still a chance this can push up out of this flag. So in my opinion, that chart's just not tradable. Right now, it just needs to kind of get itself together so we can get a clear picture in what direction it wants to go. The daily's looking bearish. The weekly still looks like it could possibly go for a move up. So the Qs here, we had a strong move in the market yesterday or Thursday. Then yesterday we had a move back down. You can see we had this nice gap up the previous day. Yesterday we gapped down on that the GDP coming out, and with a huge move down off of that, you can see the recovery at the end of the day. Big move down, push back up intraday. A lot of, like I say, a lot of these charts look the exact same. As long as you were not fighting the trend, you should have had a good day yesterday. The Qs on the weekly, we've already said we're coming back down. The Qs are weaker overall, are weaker than the SPY. The Qs, we are going to visit the lows. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to go back. We're not going to head back down and retest these lows. You can see TLT. Oh, this is the 20-year. Money looks like it's starting to drain out. We're down here below the 9 and 20. 9 looks like it wants to come down. Looks like we want to see some downside here. The bond market is not looking very healthy right now. We had a nice push up and it's just getting rejected. So IWM is below your weekly 200. Rejected at that downtrend, has gotten below all the major moving averages. Once again, we're going to go back down and test the lows. I don't know the journey. I'm not saying it's going to go straight there, but we're definitely going back down. IWM daily. So you can see right here that push up on Wednesday put us right on the 9, just a gap down with a big pullback. You can see we had a really nice recovery on IWM. You see we come close to taking back the 200 here, your 15-minute 200, but we come a lot closer to taking back the opening candles there. Why we have so much wick on that chart. Lockheed Martin's still trading in this little channel here. The 50's coming up. Macy's still working its way down out of that contraction zone. Mara just been destroyed since this level right here. Come down and tested all this with that FCX and all that going on. We said when it broke below these candles here to look for a move down, and it's been a very nice ride on the way down. McDonald's just double tops, come down, tested it, bear flagged up below the 50. This looks like it wants more downside as well. Merck, just strong, very strong. Nice push up there. Very strong chart. Meta's been just chopping along. It's not really done a whole lot here lately. It's just kind of trading sideways. Had some really nice intraday moves. You can see here Meta, nice move down. You can see we flagged right into that 15-minute 9 and pulled back. That would have made a very nice entry for anybody. Of course, it was probably people trying to go long there, but for anybody who was, who missed this and was looking for an entry, that would have made a very nice entry and another pullback. MU, the earnings on this were bad. They have guided down, and then when they come in, they can't even meet where they guided down. They're still missing. Just a lot of issues going on there. You can see we closed on a doji, but long-legged. So this ended up making some big moves intraday, but closed flat. Microsoft down here below the 50. We're getting below these daily 50s. Just not good. Not good for the market. How much more downside can we see? We know we're going back to the lows. Can we take the lows out and move lower? Microsoft, nice pullback, some recovery. Will we come down, visit the lows? Will we put in a double bottom scenario? Only time will tell. We don't have a magic crystal ball, but we do know we're coming back to test them lows without a doubt. Microsoft Weekly, you can see it's rolling over here. This push up didn't even have enough to get back to the top of the broadening channel there. Monday.com, this looked really good, gapped up, held this 200, was waiting on a 9. Now it's broke down below the 9. There's room to make money here, depending on where we open down to the 9. The market's actually gapped up a little bit this morning, looks like. Moderna, we posted this chart. Facebook, Twitter, Discord, shared this chart with everybody. Had a nice breakout on this flag. We posted this, and the very next day, we had this nice breakout of this flag. So if you're following along, that was a very nice opportunity. You should be making some money. Moderna, you can see the intraday chart here. Yesterday, we had this nice move up. Breaking out that flag, really nice move up. And then yesterday we come down, kind of put this little double bottomish down here. It's not exactly textbook, but you got a nice move up, took the trend line out. Got a nice move up out of that. MU, you can see the downtrend from the sell off from earnings in after hours in pre-market just got destroyed. Opened up flat, snatched back, pushed, snatched back again. It did push at the end of the day, and that's why we closed with a flat doji, because it was able to come back and pretty much close right at the opening candles. Nasdaq, you can see this uh, the weakness here, pushing up, didn't even have enough strength to get to the 9, and then pulling back. I believe we would have pushed yesterday if it wasn't for those numbers being just a little hot. The market just didn't like it. Netflix, it has been breaking apart as well. We did bounce off of this. Actually, we took the 50 out and recovered, pushed off from it. Wednesday, Thursday, just closed flat. 9's coming down. If we can get below this 50, I would expect more downside. I'm just really not interested in trading it before it gets below the 50. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, once again, back down to the 50. This was a really strong chart and just been breaking apart the last 2 weeks. Just not, the market's just not holding up. Big money trend to the downside, called a nice reversal. And we talked through this reversal in the Discord. So, we knew when to start getting into it. We knew when to be aggressive with it. So when you get a trend like this, that's when you want to be aggressive. NVIDIA, to the downside here, you got your 20. So the weekly, we've took out the weekly 9, still trying to hold that weekly 20. So we do have some support levels on the weekly we got to clear there. Oxy down yesterday. Oxy's just been trading weaker. I think me and a lot of other people have been waiting to hear Warren Buffett's buying or has bought, and it just give us a 1-day catalyst. It's not really that big of a deal, but if he does buy, it'll give us a 1-day catalyst. Palantir, just sad looking down there. I know there's a lot of people who really like Palantir, but I'm just not a big fan. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Never have been, and I'll explain why. When Palantir was IPO'd, it was this great big hype around it, and everybody was talking about it. And I just Googled their, tried to find out as much. They weren't public at the time, but I was able to get a little bit of information on their earnings before they went public, and it was terrible. So it looked like the business was in 20 years, was mismanaged, had never really made money, and then you have all these YouTubers pumping it. So I wrote it up, and then we caught money, made money back down to the downside. Just never. Everybody's always talking about how great of a company it is, but they don't make money. They've had 1 or 2 earnings where they've actually had a decent earnings. And they're really just, it's just not a very profitable company. Pendleton moving down here as well, breaking below that support. We said we'd have more downside. We were watching this level right here, which is your 50. We took that out yesterday. I'd look for a test of that support. Plug just getting destroyed here. Procter and Gamble got to bounce off this support here back above your 9. I would keep an eye on this one. They may come back for this. You know, everybody's scared of a recession right now. You still need diapers during a recession. Roblox, big gap down here. You can see yesterday another move down to new lows, new 52-week lows anyway. Rocket Lab, we were watching this descending triangle. The CPI data kind of destroyed it, but we got a nice move down there as well. SPX pushed up into the 50, and yesterday on the hot data coming out with a move down, you can see a nice recovery. At the end of the day, it was able to bring that candle back up. SLB, we broke out of this uh, descending, broadening wedge. We were able to break out of it. And yesterday we pulled back into it, testing the 9 and 20 on the daily as the 9 and 20 is coming up. I would keep an eye on SLB. There may be some upside left in that one. SoFi, it's rough. It's not textbook. There's a small inverted head and shoulders down here. We're in a bear market. This pattern may not pay off. I wouldn't get too worried about it. It's worth watching, but I wouldn't make a big deal. It's not something you want to marry. And it's not the best textbook of a pattern either. But we see this all the time. I've said this and said this and said this, and we see this in the Discord. Some of your non-textbook patterns are your best performing patterns. So the diamond holding the 50, seeing some weakness here, still stronger than a lot of the other assets, but it the weakness is coming for it. SPY weekly trading in this descending broadening channel still. Broadening wedge, channel, however you want to call it. It's been stated as both names, but we are in a downtrend. I do believe we're going to come back and visit the lows here, but you can see how much stronger this is versus the Qs. The Qs are close to those lows. SPY on the daily, below the daily 50 yesterday. You can see we pushed, you can see that we pushed up on Wednesday, gap down on the data, and pretty much closed with a spinning top down there. Pushed into that 50. You can see it here. Big rip down, reversal here, nice push up. This is our trend chart. So short term, medium term are bearish. The long term side of our trend is getting ready to turn bearish as well. But we know we're in a bear market. We know we're heading lower. The Fed did not give the market what they wanted to hear. You can see we're below the 50. We're below. This is square. We're below this. We had a inverted head and shoulders down here. We pushed up on that. We are back below that neckline, which is a support level, which now is resistance. Watching square for a move down, move lower. XLK, this is the tech sector. We pushed up into the 50, rejected. Tesla, are we surprised, Tesla? So we got bear flags on the weekly. On the daily, we had this triple top. We've worked our way down. Flags here on the weekly. We got bear flags. So are we really surprised about this? We know a lot of times market leaders change. There's just a lot going on here, especially with Twitter, Musk. There's a lot going on with the company. They're not selling. China, there's a lot going on. And we had a triple top and then bear flags on the weekly. So, the signals were there. Just have to listen to, follow the technical analysis, listen to the charts. The charts will tell you what's happening. A TLT weekly, we had this nice push up, took this downtrend out, and it's breaking apart. Still holding this 29s coming up. So we're still worth keeping an eye on. We need strong bond market if this market's going to push. You You can see Tesla here. Tesla did not have the recovery yesterday of the rest of the charts, just showing a lot of weakness. We take out yesterday's low, look for downside. Uber, so Uber, uh, watching, draw a line right here. We closed below this line yesterday, closed below the previous candle line. Looking for more downside on it. Would like to see the 9 catch up a little bit. Not sure. We're expecting low volume today, so we're not really sure what's going to happen today. We're never really sure what's going to happen in the market, though. We come in here every day and we play the action. We're able to make money, listen to the charts, let the charts tell us where they want to go. The market actually speaks to us. You just have to listen to the chart, learn the candles, the technical analysis, the patterns, price action. It's not as hard as it sounds. Emotional management is actually the hardest part when it comes to trading for most people. Some people can handle it better than others. For me, it was the hardest part. Very mechanical now. Coming here, able to do very well every day. UNG, nice downtrend, but it's took a little experience to get to this level too. You can see UNG is getting really gappy there. It's heading down. I'm still a little surprised that natural gas is getting beat up like this. Unity, Unity tried to push up, kind of bear flagging there. Waiting, looks like it's waiting on the 9 to catch up. X X come in and they guided up one afternoon, and this thing's been on a decent push ever since. It's not been the easiest to trade because it's been a little choppy. Nice move, consolidate, move, gap up. But since they come in and guided up, they've done very well. But you can see right there, we know we need to get above this level, clear those previous candles for a move up. There's money to make up to those candles. Just be aware if you're in it. So WBD or WBA Walgreens, we had major bullish flow coming on this. I mean, my whole screen just turned calls coming in on this thing, and I'm not sure. We never really figured out why they were buying. Just a huge down candle, which is what we were expecting because we had a rounded top. Other than the CPI candle, we had a rounded top, so we were expecting a move down. Seeing all that bullish flow, uh, just another move down. Yesterday, it managed to close back above the uh, 50, your daily 50. Wells Fargo, we lost this little trend line here, and you can see the daily chart. Losing that, we took a move down. Walmart, we got the gap fill we were expecting. We knew when we lost when we lost the 150 level, we were going to see more downside, come down, bounced up into it. Just give us a rough little inverted cup and handle, and we have seen more downside off of that. Right now, it looks like we closed below that 50. See if we can get a move down from the 50 here. Depends on what the market does today. Win also looks like it wants more downside. You got your 9 rolling over, your MACD's bearish. XLE, no, I'm sorry, XLF, the banks holding. We closed above this daily 50 or daily 200 yesterday, so it's wedged in between a daily 200 and a daily 50. Look for a move below this daily 200. Look for a move lower. MACD is trying to change character here. If it does decide to push, it's got to clear the 50 and the 9 before it's really tradable. ExxonMobil, just down day yesterday. It was able to recover some of it though, and we've seen that on the intraday charts. And back to the put to call ratio. So that concludes our video for today. I hope you find this helpful. Have a great day, and please, I hope everyone has a great Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.